What up gamers, Fence here, and in this video I want to share my thoughts on the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and because of that there will be spoilers up ahead, you've been warned. But yeah, there will be spoilers up ahead for the show itself, as well as anything else that might be related, like the prequels, the original trilogy, as well as maybe Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, stuff like that. So yeah, once again, you've been warned. Now, before I start sharing my thoughts on the show, I just want to let you guys know that out of all the other Star Wars series that Disney has made so far, Kenobi here is going to be the one where I'm going to be the most harshest and critical with, because it does feature very important characters, like, of course, with Obi-Wan Kenobi, but also Darth Vader, and as well as the Inquisitors themselves. I'm not the biggest fan of the original trilogy era, but the Inquisitors have always been my favorite part about them. And because of just how impactful and historical Obi-Wan and Darth Vader were back in the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, and personally how much I like the Inquisitors and Star Wars Rebels and Jedi Fallen Order, and even as well with like Ewan and Hayden reprising their roles 20 years after their debut in the prequel trilogy. Like, man, there's just a lot to live up to, and just know that whenever I seem like very harsh and stuff, just know that it's because I just want to see them be treated fairly and be the best that they can be. But with that said, let's begin sharing my thoughts on the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And I guess we can begin with episodes 1 and 2, pretty much at the beginning, the premiere. Now, I don't want to dabble on this too long because I've already done that in another video where I share my first impressions of the first two episodes, pretty much the premiere of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And so yeah, go watch that video if you want a more in-depth take on like my thoughts on the first two episodes there. But to summarize my thoughts on the first two episodes, I thought they were really great. I thought it was a very strong start, and for the most part, I liked it. There were some moments that I did not like. For me, I did not like the Leia chasing too much with the kidnappers, but yeah, for the most part, I thought it was really good, and once again, just a really strong start. But the only thing that really worried me was with Reva at the end of episode 2, where she stabbed the Grand Inquisitor, looking to be dead, and then told Obi-Wan Kenobi that she knows who Anakin is. And yeah, that definitely set some alarms here. Now, when I first saw this, I was just really confused because, yeah, it did seem like her character seemed to be like more prominent and more important. Like she got more screen time, I feel, than the other Inquisitors. But I guess the actions of like stabbing the Grand Inquisitor and then telling Obi-Wan Kenobi that she knows Anakin, yeah, it definitely made me confused on like how important her character was because, yeah, I don't know. I guess for me, I thought maybe all the Inquisitors will be playing a big part into chasing down Kenobi, but yeah, it did seem like for the most part, it was just Reva. And I'm not against the idea of this character. I do like the concept of Reva, where she is a rebellious Inquisitor, but the problem is that she's a new character. She was able to take out the Grand Inquisitor so fast with ease, where I feel like he would have like at least put up a fight, but nope, it was like really fast. I guess she's like really powerful and stuff. It also makes me very sad that the Grand Inquisitor just went out like that because yeah, I do like the Grand Inquisitor back in Star Wars Rebels. He was very fun and intimidating to watch. And yeah, he finally got his live action debut, and just to be just sliced down like that. And then there's her knowing who Anakin is, which I feel like that knowledge is more on a personal level, like something that Obi-Wan and Ahsoka would know. And so yeah, I feel like with her, just because she is new, like I guess it doesn't fit in a way that she would know who Anakin is, but it does get explained later on like why she knows, and I think it was a pretty good explanation. But during this time, it was kind of worrisome because like I don't know, I just felt like things can go wrong on the explanation. So those were my thoughts on the first two episodes of Kenobi, and now let's get on to the rest of the episodes, going to episode 3 right now, where we have Obi-Wan and Leia meet a spy Imperial officer named Tala to try to escape off the planet that they're on right now. Now, I thought this episode had a very slow start and middle, but it does pick up at the end. But there were some very good moments during the slow portions where you have Obi-Wan and Leia talk about Padme and yeah, trying to learn more about her mother and who Obi-Wan is, if he is the father of Leia. But yeah, that was a funny scene. And then you have the stormtroopers joining them on a truck, which I like the scene a lot. It was very intense because, yeah, if they get discovered, Obi-Wan is still not at his full form, and so yeah, things can go very wrong if they're revealed, and they almost got revealed. Obi-Wan accidentally calls Leia by her real name, and he did a very nice recovery too, which led into Leia wanting to know more about her mother. And I really do like these two together with Obi-Wan and Leia. I think Leia is a great fit to be like a traveling companion with Obi-Wan here because she is pretty much a continuation of like Padme and Anakin. I mean, it is actually a continuation of those characters because she is the offspring. But yeah, I do like it a lot. She wants to know more about her parents, and I just find it to be very cute and sincere that way. And it really does help out with this relationship that they have right now for later on in A New Hope, where Leia does call upon Obi-Wan to ask for help because he is her only hope. So yeah, I really do like these two together. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, they do meet up with Tala, in which, guys, I just want to say really quick that I don't really care too much about Tala or Roken or Haja, even though I do like his comic relief stuff. Yeah, I just don't care about these side characters because, yeah, they're just very side charactery, man. They're just there to play a role, to do a job, to move the plot forward, and yeah, they just don't really have too much impact with the main story stuff. So yeah, I'll just like briefly explain about them and just move on because yeah, there really isn't much to talk about. Like, they're not bad characters, but I just don't think they're worth like going too much detail into. But yeah, continuing on here, Tala does take them into a secret hideout place, and apparently Quinlan Voss was there, which I like vaguely remember. I do remember his name and the appearance, but I really don't remember him too much from the Clone Wars cartoons. So yeah, that's cool that he's there. It does make me wonder if he will appear later on in like maybe a season 2 or maybe another show. But regardless, Vader shows up and starts toying with Obi-Wan here, which was just really awesome to see. It's their first encounter ever since Revenge of the Sith, and yeah, it was really fun. I think for the most part I liked it. The only thing I didn't like was with the fire. Like, during the first time there was a fire dividing them, but he was able to put it out the first time. But then the second time when that happened, like, he just let it go off, and I don't know why, it just doesn't feel right that way because, yeah, you would think Darth Vader would actually go after Obi-Wan. Like, I don't think some fire would stop him even for the second time. So yeah, I mean, for the most part though, I did like it. It's just that weird fire part that I did not like. But yeah, Tala was the one to start that second fire to divide Vader from Kenobi, and she had her giant robot companion escort Kenobi out from that place to get off safely from that planet. Now, while that was happening, Leia did get kidnapped by Reva, which, I don't know, I don't like that scene too because she just appeared ahead of Leia, and that's how she got kidnapped. And yeah, it feels like a very fast scene. I wish there was more of like, I guess, intensity with that scene, but there really wasn't. But yeah, that was episode 3. I thought it was very slow at the start and middle, but it did have its very good moments to it. And then that last part where we had Vader fighting Kenobi, like, yeah, that was that was a really fun scene. It's just that fire part's just so weird. Now, moving on into episode 4 here, we have Obi-Wan and Tala breaking into Fortress Inquisitorius, which was from the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game, and yeah, it's pretty much like the same thing, which I'd like to see in live action, but it is too much of the same thing. I'm actually kind of weirded out that Obi-Wan pretty much entered the same way like how Cal did back in that game. Like, they haven't like maybe learned from their mistakes, but even with the like with like the glass like on the tunnels, like even that was able to be broken just like back in Fallen Order. So yeah, some weird, like, I guess, consistencies with that. I mean, I guess it is consistent where it's pretty much the same thing but like, you would think they would learn from their mistakes. But yeah, the reason why they're there is because that's where Riva took Leia. She is interrogating Leia, and one really cool scene I like about that, the whole interrogation, is where Riva tried to read the mind of Leia, but she can't because she is very strong in the Force. That's really cool to see because it does show that the Skywalker bloodline, man, they're very strong in the Force. Like it's very consistent like that. Now, as that was happening, we had Obi-Wan and Tala looking around in the fortress for Leia, and they eventually found her. We had Tala distract Riva from Leia, and we had Obi-Wan go and free Leia from the guards, which he took down in a really cool way, where he was in the dark, and he would take them out with a lightsaber, and yeah, just with that lightsaber light effect, like it just looks really cool just seeing them being taken down. And then we had Obi-Wan escorting Leia out to go and try to escape from that fortress. But then they got caught, a probe saw them, and now, yeah, the alarms have been raised and they're trying to fight their way out. Yeah, mainly Obi-Wan, Leia can't do anything. Yeah, we had Obi-Wan fight through some stormtroopers, and it was really cool. He's getting back into the swing of things, like with his lightsaber. So yeah, it's cool to see him just like progress from like the first episode where he's like really rusty and also very hesitant to use the lightsaber, where now he's actually using the lightsaber. Once they got to the hangar, we had Obi-Wan, Leia, and Tala escape on a snow speeder. There were actually two snow speeders there to help them escape, but one of them got shot down by Riva. Rest in peace, Wade, the most important side character out of all of Star Wars. But regardless, they do escape, Obi-Wan, Leia, and Tala. And yeah, when they got out, they mourned for Wade's death. I gotta say, it does feel weird when it comes to them like entering and exiting the Fortress Inquisitorius because, yeah, just once again, I remember back in Jedi Fallen Order that they had to go use a cloak on the ship to even enter. And then, yeah, I thought maybe the escape, like, you see the TIE fighters on the hangars, and I'm kind of like, it's kind of weird that they don't like actually chase them down, like try to get some pilots inside. But I gotta say, man, with this series in general, like compared to other Star Wars shows, I feel like this show here can be nitpicked a lot. Like there's like a lot of things you can really nitpick. Like with Tala here, she was able to like take down a stormtrooper by punching it, even though it's got armor on. But yeah, stuff like that. You can find a lot of those. I feel more than other shows. But yeah, I will make sure to just stick with the more important nitpicks and not do every detail. But it's just kind of funny to see. But yeah, Obi-Wan and Tala were able to escape with Leia, and Vader's just like really pissed. He marches into like their meeting room or something and uses the Force on Riva and force chokes her. Now she does something where she tries to redeem herself by putting a tracking beacon or bolt or restraining bolts or something onto Lola, who is Leia's droid. And then yeah, Vader just lets her go, which I don't know why that also felt like another thing that Vader wouldn't do, like maybe at least have some kind of like punishment with her, because you would think that Vader would want like no mistakes with Kenobi at least. So yeah, that was episode 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, but before we move on, I do have some final thoughts on this episode. Number 1, I thought the room with the frozen Jedi were really cool. They're in carbonite, but it seems to be very transparent with the carbonite itself. There were some Jedis that I thought looked very familiar with me, at least when it comes to like when other people mention it. One of them is a teacher, like a Jedi master, I guess, or knight. I'm guessing master that taught Ahsoka. He was an alien and he had this lightsaber cane. I do remember that from the Clone Wars cartoon. And another, what people seem to think is Seer from the Jedi Fallen Order game, which, wouldn't surprise me because, given the setting, the Fortress Inquisitorius, that was also first featured in Jedi Fallen Order. And also they have a youngling, which I don't know why, but I know it's supposed to be like really sad, dark, or serious, but to me it's like just really funny to me and also very unbelievable because like yeah, I just feel like they would use that youngling to train it to become an inquisitor instead of like just being frozen there, just like do like what they did with Riva. I don't know why that youngling is there. It just seems really random to me. But yeah, also pretty dark too, because yeah, that kid is just there forever, man. And my second final thought here is that I feel like this episode and also the previous one, I don't know, I feel like they could have like somehow combined them together because I feel like this episode and also like I said the previous one, they felt very dragged out and very long, and I don't know, I just feel like they can just be combined into one episode, man. And because like I just feel like nothing much is happening. Like when I look into episodes 2, 3, and 4, they're just pretty much like just passing around Leia, like, hey, the kidnappers have Leia now. Oh, now it's Kenobi. Oh, now it's Riva. Oh, now it's back to Kenobi. And I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this whole like Leia like taking turns being with like other people. Because yeah, I just feel like it's just being dragged out. And now for my third and last final thought, it's with Riva. Yeah, I felt like for episodes 3 and 4, she's been given a lot of screen time, yet she wasn't really given much to like really go with her story, like in terms of like progression, which, yeah, to me it just feels really weird because I just feel like she's been given a lot more screen time than usual, like compared to like other villains in some other Star Wars shows like Moff Gideon and stuff. Yet she doesn't really do much, in terms of like revealing new story elements. She's just there to be a generic bad guy. And because of that, I felt like her screen time could have been given to some of the other Inquisitors, especially with the fifth brother, man. Like, he is underutilized in this show. Like, dude, he hasn't even, I don't think he even like ignited his lightsaber, man. It's just that sad with this character. He just tries to bully a bit with Riva, and now Riva's kind of like bullying him a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know why. I just want to see more of the fifth brother. He was also from the Star Wars Rebels show, and just like with the Grand Inquisitor, man, like, he plays such a small role in this show. Like, dude, he would have made an excellent rival to Riva, given their history together of like being mean to each other. Like, he could have like been a competitor for the position of the Grand Inquisitor. I'm not sure if that's what he wants, but that could be something maybe. Or maybe he can try to get sus on Riva on like what really happened to the Grand Inquisitor, and then maybe he'll like put things together because he finds things to be like out of place and like unnatural, so maybe that could be a thing. I don't know, man. I just felt like the fifth brother once again just very underutilized, and it's also like his debut as well into live action, just like with the Grand Inquisitor, man, and they're both just being very underutilized. But yeah, those are my thoughts on episode 4 of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And now we get to episode 5 where things start to get very, very good. In this episode, Obi-Wan, Leia, and Tala return to Roken's hangar, his hidden hangar place. But once again, Lola has a tracker on her, and not only that, she's also being controlled by them, and so she sabotages their hangar door on the ceiling, and so yeah, that's been broken and jammed, and they have to fix that within a couple of hours. But yeah, dude, they don't really have much time because of that, because with their tracker, the Empire knows where they are, and they went to them, and Riva led an army to try to enter their place, but yeah, Roken's group pretty much like barricaded the doors, but yeah, it's not gonna like hold out forever. But yeah, Leia's the one to fix their jammed hangar door, and as she's doing that, we have Riva try to break in using a laser battering ram, but Obi-Wan was able to convince her to stop and just talk for a bit, and dude, this is when I start to like Riva over here. She started to talk about her past, where it was revealed that she was a youngling from the Jedi Temple, the same youngling that we saw at the beginning of the show when Order 66 happened, and Anakin was the one to slay her youngling friends, and her as well. Yeah, he just stabbed her on the side of her stomach, I think. And yeah, ever since that, she wanted revenge against Anakin by rising through the ranks of the Inquisitors to try to get close to Darth Vader and just get back at him. Now, for the most part, I do like her backstory. It does make me care about the character, and it does make her feel very important on like her role as a lead antagonist. I just really wish they revealed this like way early on, like in episodes 3 or 4, where I said that she felt like a generic bad guy. Well, now if they revealed that early on, she would be a generic bad guy with a purpose, which I feel like would justify her immense amount of screen time there. And I just want to say really quickly that, her time there in episodes 3 and 4, it wasn't all that bad. They do have some subtle hints to what was revealed here. It's just that, once again, I wish they revealed this like way early on for me to like care about the character because, yeah, just going week by week, like just of the same thing, just being a generic bad guy, it just did not work out for me. Now, what I don't like about her backstory is that she got stabbed as a youngling, which, I mean, I can't believe that a youngling would be able to survive a lightsaber stab. I mean, Qui-Gon got stabbed and he just died right there. I know that Darth Maul was cut in half, but, he's got like his own reasonings, maybe some other like voodoo stuff, some witchcraft with the Night Sisters or something, that probably helped him just revive himself. I know that he became a spider at some points, so I know there's that, but yeah, I feel like for a human though, a human youngling, I just feel like she wouldn't be able to survive that. But yeah, after that chat about her past, Riva just took down the door and everyone just started blasting at each other. And for the most part, it seemed like the stormtroopers were the one going down, whereas like the unarmored, like civilian, like Roken's people, like I didn't see any of them go down, like like just like the stormtroopers were, even though it was such a very like close quarters engagement. I don't know why, it just felt so weird that way, like they just have some plot armor on. But as they try to retreat into the inner part of the hangar, Tala does get hit in the crossfire and goes down, and the giant robot tries to protect her, but yeah, it doesn't matter. She sacrificed herself and even locked the doors to the inner hangar area to make sure that the stormtroopers doesn't go through. And yeah, she sacrificed herself. I thought she was a good side character, and she had a really good death scene there, just her sacrifice and all that. Obi-Wan then surrenders himself to Reva's people to buy Roken's people more time to open up the broken hangar door, but to also give Riva the position to attack Darth Vader, to lure him there and to attack him. Now, yeah, I feel like the next part though felt really stupid for the Empire side of things. Yeah, Riva just sent Kenobi back into the hangar with the doors closed, I believe, with two very weak stormtroopers who, I wouldn't trust to like just hold on to Kenobi there. But then Darth Vader arrives and Obi-Wan was able to free himself from those stormtroopers and join Roken's group into the ship, into fleeing. Now, the next part is so cool because, man, it just shows how much powerful, like just how powerful Vader is, and it's something I've always wanted to see because from what I've heard from the comics, he is just so like monsterly powerful. I don't even know if that's even a word. But yeah, we do see it a bit from Jedi Fallen Order, and now we get to see it here, where he just uses the Force to catch and stop the fleeing ship, pull it down to the ground, and just rip it apart like it was nothing. Like, man, I'm just so happy to see that in live action because, dude, in the past when I watched the original trilogy, I didn't really like Darth Vader too much because I thought he was just a generic bad guy, and there really wasn't much for me to like about him. Like, he played his role right, it's just he just wasn't really that rememberable to me, at least compared to like Darth Maul with his double-bladed lightsaber, or Count Dooku with his hilted lightsaber, or even Grievous with his bunch of lightsabers. Yeah, just seeing Darth Vader here use the Force in such powerful lengths, like, it just makes me really like him a lot because now I do see him as a very unique Sith Lord. And we do see more of his force powers when Reva decided to attack Darth Vader, and he just catches her lightsaber like with using his hands, man, just like the force, just stopping it. And dude, it looks so cool. Like he didn't even use his lightsaber here. He just used the force to like stop her lightsaber swings and then get her lightsaber and just break it in half. I'm guessing that's like a function of her lightsaber. I don't think he actually just break it. Like it's still functional and all that stuff. But yeah, he just like gave the other half to Reva, and then just started to like, battle with her using her own lightsaber. Like, dude, that's just how much he is more powerful than Reva. Like, just like with Kenobi in Episode 3, he's just toying with Reva here, and it's so awesome to see. But yeah, Vader wins in the end, where he just stabs Reva, and as he was about to like stab Reva there, she had like flashbacks to like a parallel to like how she was stabbed as a youngling, and I thought that scene was really cool. But once again, I don't like the stab. I don't like her being stabbed as a youngling, and I don't like her being stabbed as, in the present, because both times she just survived that. And yeah, I really don't like that. Now, what's really cool after that is the Grand Inquisitor makes a return, and dude, I'm just really happy to see that. But dude, unfortunately, like going into the next episode, he doesn't really have much to do. Like he was just there for one scene. But yeah, Darth Vader and the Grand Inquisitor then just left her there to rot, I guess. But little do they know that she can somehow like survive that. I don't know, I guess I wasn't sure they were expecting her to like rot there, but yeah, somehow she just survives that and was able to make it to the next episode. But yeah, as she was there lying on the ground, she did find a message from Bail Organa talking about Luke and Owen, and they're connected to Obi-Wan pretty much. And yeah, her next mission now, since she failed to fight Darth Vader, is to try to get back at Kenobi. And yeah, her next plan was to travel to Tatooine to take on Luke and slaughter him. And now for the final episode, episode 6 over here. It is pretty much split into two stories, one with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, and the other with Reva and the Owen family, mainly with like Luke. So basically, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, they went to this planet and had their rematch of the century, which, dude, I liked a lot. I don't think it's as epic as like they had back in Revenge of the Sith, but I thought it was still a pretty good duel over here. I think in Revenge of the Sith, they had a better lightsaber battle, but in here, on this whatever planet they were on, that was like really dark and had a lot of tall rocks. Yeah, I thought they had a better use of force powers. Like, dude, they both used their force powers, man. Like Obi-Wan just rising rocks and just throwing all the rocks around him at Darth Vader, and also with Vader here just like burying Obi-Wan into the ground and then using the rocks to bury him, and just Obi-Wan like holding the rocks like above him just so he doesn't get crushed. Yeah, dude, a very epic duel. I do like it a lot, especially with the conversations that they had like during the battle and in between. And also especially, dude, like at the end, like near the end of the battle, where Obi-Wan had the high ground. He had the advantage, and at some points, Obi-Wan was able to like maybe partially unmask Darth Vader, revealing to be Anakin, and they had this very touching moments, and I felt like, at the end here, it pretty much goes in very well to like what happens in A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. I mean, the first one, after the battle, Obi-Wan did walk away, he won, and that made Vader here the learner, where, the next time that they meet on the Death Star, Vader does say, "The last time you walked out from me, or when you left me, I was but a learner, but now I'm a master," so it does fit in very well from there. And also when Vader took the credit, where he said that he's the one that killed Anakin and not Obi-Wan, that's when Obi-Wan saw that yeah, Anakin is like truly gone from a certain point of view. I think that fits in pretty well in The Empire Strikes Back, where he says that, yeah, like Luke's father was dead from a certain point of view. There was also this really cool effect that they had with the lights of the lightsabers when talking about Anakin. Like when Darth Vader was talking about Anakin there, yeah, like the light that was being reflected onto him was blue, and I guess that was just showing like his more normal side. But then it turns red where, when things get really dark with like whatever he just said. And I just like that. I don't know how to say it. Like I don't know. How do you say that? Like personification or something? I don't know. Imagery. Yeah, just some kind of like symbolism or something with the colors. But yeah, after that fight, after that very emotional like conversation that they have, yeah, Obi-Wan just left him there, and Vader just screamed at him, just Obi-Wan, just like how with Darth Maul he screamed Kenobi. This was also a pretty good thing to see too, because it just feels very haunting by Vader. Obi-Wan then returns to his ship and heads back to Tatooine until he feels the presence of like Luke being in danger, and that's where the other story comes into this episode where Reva hunts down Luke here. Now I thought this whole scene was very mid, but also pretty okay too. They had some pretty good moments where Owen was talking about like, having Luke as his own, when Reva said that you're protecting him like your own, and Owen said he is one of my own, and I thought that was such a good line from Owen, man. Dude, Owen is such like the most spot on character throughout this whole series. Like, he is probably the most consistent, I would say, and the most, I guess, maybe likable. And another thing too, like when Reva was chasing Luke, one thing I did try to make sure to notice is to make sure that Luke doesn't see the lightsaber, because I feel like it's really magical when he sees the lightsaber for the first time in A New Hope. And yeah, if he saw that, then I feel like that would kind of like lessen the, like, I guess his experience with the lightsaber for the first time, because he saw it before. But no, I looked at like Luke, and he doesn't really make any eye contact, and he actually just believes that it's just a Tusken Raider. Like, that's what Owen said to him. So I'm pretty happy with like the writers that they at least have that, like, to make sure to like not have Luke like just encounter a lightsaber, pretty much anything Jedi and all that. But at some point Luke gets knocked out, and Reva had a chance to slay Luke there, but she couldn't really go through with it because she saw her youngling self onto Luke, and she doesn't want to be like Anakin, just slaying the younglings and stuff. She doesn't want to be like Darth Vader, and she admits that by going back to Owen, returning Luke to them, and talking with Obi-Wan, saying that, she really didn't want to be like Darth Vader, and, she doesn't know if she actually is. And Obi-Wan reassured her that, yeah, she's not like Darth Vader, that they're free, that they're both free, with Kenobi, like, facing on Anakin, just like to have some kind of like conclusion from the past, because, with Kenobi here, he felt like he failed Anakin, like he's the one that killed Anakin, but it was actually Anakin that killed Anakin. But yeah, with Reva here, she was kind of like free from like, I guess, from her past, and maybe try to move on from now to like not try to maybe be like Anakin. And I thought this was a very good moment for both of them because they finally feel free. They have a conclusion where they can like just take a breather, rest, and be ready to move on to whatever is next. And what happened next is Darth Vader had a chat with Palpatine. Dude, Ian McDermott is back. I think that is him. Hopefully I'm not wrong, because it did feel like him. But not only that too, dude. At the very last shot of the show, we had Qui-Gon back as a Force ghost. Yes, Liam Neeson is back as Qui-Gon. Now, I'm not really sure how long that's gonna be. Like, if there's gonna be a season 2, I can definitely see like a story with Kenobi and Qui-Gon over here. Also, maybe Quinlan Voss. Maybe they can try to reconnect with the Force. Maybe become Force ghosts themselves, because that was like also a thing. Like, try to get Obi-Wan here having some training to become a Force ghost. But yeah, like, it was so nice to see Qui-Gon, especially because, yeah, it got me really teary-eyed. The prequel trilogy has been my favorite like era in the Skywalker saga, and yeah, it's been so nice to see, man. Like it's been so long too. Just like with Ewan and Hayden here, it's been like 20 years since then. For Liam here, like it's been even longer. I mean, he was there in the first episode, and afterwards he was just a voice. So yeah, just so nice to see Qui-Gon, man. He is just not quite gone yet. And I guess the last thing I'll talk about is with Leia and Luke. With Leia, Obi-Wan said goodbye to her and to call upon Obi-Wan if she needs any help, which that did happen in A New Hope. And with Luke over here, he was able to meet Luke there. Not sure if it's for the first time, because I mean it's been 10 years. I mean, I don't even know if there was some kind of interaction, but yeah, he was able to meet Luke there. And then I'm not sure if that's also the last time, because it looked like, Obi-Wan just wanted to leave him alone, like just make him just be a boy, just to live his life as a little boy. And then I guess he's just going to go off to a journey with Qui-Gon. But yeah, I thought those two moments were really beautiful, because like it actually felt like Star Wars that time, because another part of Star Wars is family, and so just seeing those two scenes there was really nice to see at the end. But yeah, man, that is it. That is my thoughts on the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and just looking at my recordings here, man, like it is probably my longest commentary so far. But yeah, like I said, those are my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of the show. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like or dislike it? Yeah, let me know down in the comments below. I guess the last thing I'll talk about is like what comes after, any rumors and all that. If they ever do a second season of Kenobi, I mean, I'm pretty fine like the way it ended, but if they ever do season 2, I feel like there's got to be more emphasis on Kenobi, because yeah, one thing I found lacking in the show was a lot of like Kenobi backstory, as well as like Vader backstory. I mean, yeah, we do have like the prequel trilogy. I mean, that's the backstory for them, but I wish there was more of it. It's been like 20 years since we last saw them. So yeah, if they ever do another season, then I hope they do more of like, like what happened back in the Clone Wars cartoons, maybe do like some cutscenes in live action. I mean, dude, definitely with Quinlan Voss. I mean, I can definitely see some flashback scenes with that. But yeah, I can definitely see season 2 be the training for Obi-Wan here to become a Force Ghost. Because yeah, I know they talked about that back in Revenge of the Sith, with, training with Qui-Gon and all that. But yeah, I think yeah, that's that. That's what happens if I think there is season 2. And another rumor that also kind of came up is a Reva spin-off show here, which I'm pretty much down for. I do feel like she had a very harsh start here, like a very bad introduction, but with the last 2 episodes of Kenobi here, I do like her character, and I feel like she'll do a lot better in her own spin-off show. I think as long as they go for like an original story and rely less on like legacy characters, then I think she can do well. Like have her own story. Maybe her story can be like, since she's an outcast from the Inquisitors, she's like one of the like targets that the Inquisitors will hunt. Because I mean, she's an Inquisitor before, there's probably some secrets that they don't want to be told out there, and I can definitely see it be like a Jedi Fallen Order story. But yeah, if either or both are true, then I'm very much looking forward to it, because even though I would say that Kenobi here, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, is not the most perfect show, like I said, there's just so many things you can like nitpick to make it far from a perfect show. I do think, I think in the end, I think it's still at least pretty good. But yeah, I'm not sure if that really warrants a second season or a Reva spin-off show. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm just looking forward to like whatever might come next. And I think in general, I think it was at least better than the Book of Boba Fett, man. Like, dude, I was so disappointed with that show. And with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show here, I at least enjoyed it a lot more. So yeah guys, that is all I want to say for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and its potential future. Next time I'll talk about whatever is coming next for movies and shows for Star Wars. I believe Andor is next, which, you know, I never really thought that the character uh, would have his own TV show, but here we are. I don't really have much expectations for it, which is a good thing because, yeah, with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show here, there was a lot of like expectations, like really high expectations. But yeah, with this show here, I'm looking forward to being surprised, hopefully, and just liking the show. Because, yeah, that usually happens, I feel, when I have like no expectations at all. So yeah guys, that is all. This is probably like my longest commentary ever so far on this channel, and yeah, I'm gonna stop it here. So that'll be for now guys. That's game.